Test. Okay. Okay, there's a bunch of people up front. The front door was locked, and they're walking up. For those of you guys that are online, this is live. This is as live as you get. And can we do a crowd shot? Can everybody wave? Yeah. Well, hold on, crowd shot. There you go. Woohoo! This is live, and we have more people coming down. Okay, take the crowd shot off. Let's take the crowd shot off. Let's go back. Okay. Yeah. Huh? Can we post up the link one more time before we get started? There it is. So you can promote what you're seeing here is what we're going to do here live is being presented on social media live right now. Leave the link on. We got some new people. This presentation is live. For my favorite person in the world just walked in. Can you raise my volume for the room, please? Raise my volume for the room. Raise it. Test, test, test. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Is that better? 1, 2, 1, 2. Is that good? Oh, there you go. Perfect. Okay. Okay, so this is live. This is a Lucas Global event. It's really not an event. It's really like a town hall meeting. What do you call this? Town hall?
A town hall event.
A town hall event. Let's merge the two. My goal here today is to give you very efficient information of what Lucas Global does with the merchant service industry and how our business model is really changing small businesses around the world. So my goal is to be very efficient with the information and to give you numbers that you guys can digest. Let me give you a little backstory. We are 3 months old. What you're seeing and what you're going to see is a 3-month-old business. I mean, 3-month-old, 3-month new. It should be said. This is a baby. We haven't officially launched. We will officially launch April 12th. On April 12th, hi. On April 12th, that was live, by the way. We said hi live, yeah. On April 12th, we will launch the company in the Los Angeles Convention Center. We'll talk more about that here in a little bit. For those of you guys that don't know me, my name is Oscar Garcia. I'm the Vice President of Lucas Global. So I don't tend to do things the way most people do. I'm a very numbers-driven guy. I'm a programmer, but I'm in sales and marketing as well. I was in sales and marketing first, and then I became a programmer in my life afterwards. But I've been servicing businesses for 20 years in marketing and branding. I'm also the AT&T social media trainer, where I teach small businesses how to market themselves online. And actually, yesterday we had a live event where we did a Google Hangout. There was about 120 business owners there, and we showed them how to rank high on Google within days. Within days. My philosophy in business is that there's no reason for me to hide my secrets, if you will, if we're partners. If we're partners and we all make money, it doesn't matter. I should freely share with you my trade secrets because for 20 years I've been doing internet. And there's certain things that I found out in the industry that can help everybody, right? There's certain things that you've done for years that maybe can help me out in business and can educate me. So a gentleman just came up to me with his experience in, with merchant services and call centers, and I really appreciate that because I'm not an expert of all things. I'm an expert at my industry, but we appreciate having experts come up to us and partner up with us. So we are definitely in that mindset of let's share knowledge so we can share wealth. That's basically our mindset. Let me explain Lucas first. Give me 10 minutes, and let me explain Lucas in a nutshell, and then let's go into really what's going on. For those of you that are new, We are a merchant service industry. A merchant services. Who has my wallet? Oh, who has my wallet? Eddie, you got your wallet? Give me your Visa. Okay, I don't know where my wallet went, but I'm going to use Eddie's. This is Eddie's credit card, right? We all have one. We all share something in common in life, whether you're a consumer or a business owner. We all use this. And this has this on it, Visa or MasterCard. 95% of all transactions are done through this, Visa or MasterCard. Today, I bought Starbucks with my, actually, not only with my Visa MasterCard, I had a Starbucks card, so I used that up, and then the rest was Visa MasterCard, right? But these days, it's not cash that's king, it's Visa MasterCard that's king. Merchant services is the ability to take this. Now it's mine, right? Eddie, you just lost it. So we're going to use Eddie's Visa MasterCard as an example here, that merchant services is just the ability to take a payment. Everyone in business is in business to sell a service or to sell a product, but at the end of the day, if you don't get paid for it, you're not in business, right? You're a nonprofit. Here, we're all about, we love nonprofits too. They need payments too. But we're here as entrepreneurs to make as much money for our services or our products as possible. Let me explain to you how it works. Merchant services starts off with Visa MasterCard, first and foremost. Visa MasterCard has wholesalers called Level 1 providers. These are individuals that do 2 million to 6 million transactions a month, in order for them to be wholesalers. Those Level 1 service providers have what you call an MSP or an ISO. This is like your Wells Fargo, your Chase. These are MSPs. They stand for Merchant Service Provider or Independent Sales Organization. These individuals usually pay Visa MasterCard $15,000, plus they have about $100,000 in costs just to sell or just to provide merchant services. That's the old business model. That's the old business model. Merchant services companies have sales reps, like most companies out there. But they have one tier of sales reps, meaning they don't go beyond that. Those sales reps contract the merchant. That merchant takes yours and mine's money. In this case, Eddie's money, right? So that merchant could be a Starbucks, could be a gasoline station, could be a grocery store, could be a multi-level marketing company, it could be an infomercial. It could be anything that accepts a payment. Everyone needs to accept the payment in business, and that's our point. This is really the business partner of all businesses in the world. Without this, you're cutting your own throat. 80% of your cash flow is gone if you don't accept this. So what happens? What happens in this process of taking a payment? And I want to show you guys, because I didn't know this. I was a web developer. I created websites and e-commerce storefronts. I created them for Ford Motor Company, for Verizon. And there was a lot of payments going through my websites, but I didn't think there was money there. Let me show you where the money is at. There's something called a gateway. That gateway system, it's actually not one computer, it's multiples. That gateway system takes my information when I swipe, right? You swipe. It takes my information, it finds my bank, and it says, does Oscar have money, yes or no? And if some reason my card is declined, that's pretty embarrassing, he will get a decline in his machine, right? If my card goes through, he gets an approval. Have you guys been there? You know what I mean, right? Now, if I'm buying a product that costs $100, does the merchant get the full $100? No. No. 90% to 95% is what he gets. The other percentage, a percentage goes here, 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 and here. What did they do? Nothing. They facilitated the ability to take a card. That's all they really did, right? Now, let's not downgrade these guys, because these guys take all the risk. If this company ever goes out of business, or I do a chargeback for 100, guess what? These guys get hit for the full 100, right? How many of you guys have ever done a chargeback? Oh, you guys are terrible people. You know what happens when a chargeback hits? The money, the percentages have already been paid out. This merchant is in the negative. You have up to 6 months to do a chargeback, right? Especially with these days, with e-commerce, with fraud. Target, you guys been there? You go to Target, don't go there. Well, no, go there. Hopefully they fix their problem. But when you went there during the holidays, a lot of people got their identity stolen because of all that POS systems that was hacked. This gateway helps protect that. So what we're saying is this is called split funding. Split funding. That's how the real world works. The merchant hits a button, and it's called batching. At the end of the day, they batch the orders, and in 48 hours, he has his money. In 48 hours, that's very crucial to know. That provides cash flow to a company. If a company doesn't have cash flow every day, they die. They die. I know it because I died. 4 years ago, I died. 4 years ago, I had a software company. I invested $600,000 into it. And because of fraud, my merchant account was turned off. That hurt. That not only hurt the ego, but the wallet. Because I didn't have cash flow for 2 months. It took me 2 months to show the bank that it wasn't my fault, that it was a fraud, right? But for 2 months, I didn't have cash flow. My overhead was $50,000 a month. When you're a small business, you don't have millions in the bank. You have 100,000 in the bank. Well, that 100,000 was gone in 2 months. Could I survive the third month? No. I had to file for bankruptcy. So it's a sad, course of life, but in 2008, we were all going through ups and downs in the economy. I took a risk in a business, and it didn't pay off. But it was a good idea, but it didn't get paid off based on merchant services. Make sense? Okay. That's merchant services. That's how it works. Why do we do it? Well, look, LucasOn came up with a better system, right? Technology is all about coming up with a better way of doing something. If you're not coming up with a better way of doing something, you're not in technology. So we're a technology-based company. We said, what if you can be this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy? What if you can take the roles of all these people and have people go directly to Visa, MasterCard, and the merchant? Could we save the merchant money? Yes. If you're all the moving parts, you can definitely cut out costs and you can save the merchant money. So what we've done is above Visa, MasterCard, we add 0.20 to the cost to the merchant. Above Visa, MasterCard. So we only add 0.20. That's a 20th of a percent. That's not even a percent. So we advertise the lowest standard rates in the industry. How can we do that? Because LucasOn is all of these parts, and we don't have to charge for as much things as other people have to charge. It's technology that allowed us to do that. We have a technology that's tied to the gateways. We actually own our own gateway that's tied to Visa, MasterCard's network, that in 4 minutes, we can give someone a merchant account. In 4 minutes. Traditionally, that took weeks, if not months. So what we've done is we've shrunk the amount of time it takes someone to get a merchant account so they can have cash flow. But why? Why, right? So that's the ultimate question. Why? Let me show you why. This is why we do it. This is what we do, but let me show you why. Are you guys getting this on the YouTube? Yeah? This is cool. I'm a technology guy, but see, I need help too. All right? This is why. Let me use an example of a business that's doing $1 million in processing. Now, according to the SBA, right, the SBA's numbers is the average business does $12,500 a month in processing. And that's pretty much true. We're talking about a company that's been around for 2 years, right? Let me give you an example. Starbucks does $250,000 in 1 day. 1 day. Let me get my Starbucks again. Let's promote these guys because hopefully we can get their merchant account, right? $250,000 in each Starbucks. Yes. Oh, you guys thought that was the whole Starbucks. No. Each Starbucks does $250,000 on a Saturday and a Sunday. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's the same thing for restaurants. Have you noticed? They make most of their money Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You go there on a Tuesday, you're getting some specials. You go there on Friday, you're playing full retail, right? Starbucks is one of those examples. Gas stations are pretty fluid, though. Gas stations, they're pretty much throughout the week. Grocery stores, billions of dollars. The average grocery store, according to the numbers I looked up in Nielsen Media, does between 10 million and 20 million a month. A month. A month. We have a grocery store chain that literally, I believe it's 30 grocery stores, 3.4 billion. 3.4 billion, right? Why? Because you don't even think about what you're buying, you just buy. You're buying like crazy. Walmart, $1 billion a day. $1 billion a day, right? Let's not even talk about those companies. We're going to talk about a company that does $1 million a month. Tacos Mexico. If you guys have been there, it's pretty good tacos. Tacos Mexico is $1 million a month. $1 million a month. So what do we make? Look at this. I'm going to give you the real numbers, and then I'm going to show you the numbers I want to use just for sake of an example. When we get accounts at 12,500, they don't have a lot of leveraging power. We can save them 40 to 50% without even without going to the floor with them. Does that make sense? But a company that's doing $1 million, in general, most of them are paying 2% above Visa MasterCard. So they're paying maybe $20,000 a month. We can bring them down to 0.20 above Visa MasterCard. But we don't need to, right? Let's make as much money as possible, but still saving the customer money. Do you understand that philosophy? Sure, we can give it all away, but why would you? And let me show you the example. What if we just take them to 1% in this theoretical example? In this theoretical example, I can bring them down to 10,000 when they were paying 20. Are they my best friends now? Yes, they're saving $10,000 a month, right? But why would I do that? Well, if I am making $10,000 in profit a month in merchant services, our first tier gets 50% of the contract for the life of the contract for doing the work once. That is the beauty of merchant services. So in other words, if we were making $10,000 in profit and we would split that profit, someone could be making $5,000 a month, month after month after month after month for doing the work once. Last week, someone brought in a major hotel chain. I don't want to tell you who it is because I don't want you to go to them and say you can do better. Okay? You can't do better. But someone brought them in, a major hotel chain with hundreds of hotels around the nation. Someone's going to get 50% of the profit of that hotel chain. That's impressive, right? That's impressive. But here's the other thing. Some of you guys have great business networks, but others you don't. You're new in the business world. So how do you get that ability to bring in those type of contracts? You build a business network. Our philosophy is that do not restrict people of building one vertical market, one avenue of getting payments. What if you can build a business network similar to the Chamber of Commerce? The Chamber of Commerce brings in business people, and we start doing business together, right? That's the whole concept of a Chamber of Commerce. What if you can start building a business network in your community? And what if you start helping people save money and make money? That's the whole goal in business. And be their partner where you can lower their overhead, right? We have a way where we can lower small business overhead across the board. That's what our software does. But look, I always tell people, teach 5 people how to do the same thing. Teach 5. You can teach 2, you can teach 1, you can teach 10. But teach 5 how to duplicate, how to make $5,000 a month. Look at our numbers. Our numbers is we're willing to pay 8% currently on our second tier. That means 8% of 10,000 is what? $800? Times 5 is how much? $4,000 a month. So if you teach other people how to make that kind of income, you can put an additional $4,000 a month in your pocket without doing the jobs over and over again. There's no qualifications every month. You do it once, you get paid every month because customers are going to that business every month. So every month a customer goes in, every month you get a check. Actually, you don't even get a check. You get direct earnings into your bank account. You are a business. There's no checks, there's no commissions, there's no anything. It's directly deposited into your bank account. Now, look at this example. If those 5 teach another 5, we'll give you 2% there. If those 5 teach another 5, we give you 2% there, and then 5 is 625. Let me just do the numbers. Okay, so that's 2%, 2%, 4. And that's, let's just round it off to 15,000. Some people have the capability of building a business network bigger than most. Others, they don't, right? But as you grow as an entrepreneur, you're going to be able to move people, and especially if you're showing them this kind of income. But what do you get? Again, we're just answering the question, why? Why are we doing this? We're doing this because for every person in your business network, you're going to get $200 off of their accounts. And that means 200 times 25 is 5,000. Look at this. 200 times 125 is $25,000 a month. Watch this. 200 times 625. Now I need a calculator. What is it? 200 times 625. 125,000. Thank you. We got one entrepreneur here. Okay. 200 times 3,025. $605,000, and 400 here at the bottom times 15,000. $6 million a month. That's why we're doing this. For that. If we can generate a business network and we can teach them how to work and bring in a decent account, and if it took you a year to teach each one of these guys, what if it took you, a year to teach these guys, a year to teach these guys, a year to teach these guys? In 7 years, what if you could be making $6 million a month? That's crazy, right? In merchant services, it's possible if you do the work and you work as hard as some of these people in merchant services. Before in merchant services, it was never this. Before in merchant services, it was just this. It was just this. That's the business model in the merchant service industry. We've changed it to this. And that's what we're doing when we're evolving a business model. Does that make sense? But that's not even where the money's at. That's not where the money's at. That looks great, right? Remember these guys? No. Let me explain to you this. Have you ever bought a house? You get a mortgage? You pay your mortgage to Bank of America? What happens a year later? Someone buys that mortgage. A Wells Fargo buys that mortgage. All of a sudden you get a letter and says, stop sending your payments to Bank of America, now send it to Wells Fargo. Why? Banks buy financial notes, financial instruments. Every couple of months or every year, the bank, someone else buys that instrument. So it can go from Bank of America to Wells Fargo to a bank in New York you don't even know about. Merchant Bank of Farmers Market, right? No offense, I'm just saying, right? That's good if you own a bank, though. So how do we know who she was? But we're sending her payments. What she did is she bought the financial notes. The secondary market buys merchant accounts for this much. Every time we get 10,000 accounts together as a merchant portfolio, we can sell it to the secondary market. That means, look, think about it. How long would it take you to get 10,000 accounts by yourself? 7 years, 8 years? I know people in the merchant service industry in the 8 years that finally got 10,000 accounts. Actually, they didn't even get close to 10,000 accounts. They were a little shy. But they were able to sell their merchant portfolio. Banks will pay between 6 times, 30 times, or 50 times value. Meaning this. This is internet, this is physical, this is medical. Medical accounts. Let's talk about physical accounts. Swap meets, nail ladies, a Starbucks, a Tacos Mexico, a dry cleaner, anything physical. Let's just use the middle number right now just to show you this example. And this is what we're looking at. If you helped us build up to 10,000 accounts, your account, his account, everyone's accounts, we bundled them together to create a portfolio faster than ever before. If we do that faster than ever before because we're using the efforts of all of us, then we can sell that portfolio for up to 30 times earnings. Now let's just use 30 times earnings for the sake of an example. Obviously, we don't know what's in the portfolio, so it could be more or less. But watch this. If it was all physical businesses that qualify for this, 30 times 5,000 is $150,000 that I would have to buy his account for. In other words, he got paid month 1, 5,000, month 2, 5,000, month 3, 5,000. The portfolio matured. We all gathered up 10,000. We sell it. Now I sit down and I put $150,000 in front of you. And I say, are you willing to sell it? Are you going to say no? That's $150,000 staring at your face. Who would say no? Raise your hand. Right? Okay, but watch. What did your group do? What did your group do? What if your group did this? Now I have to give you another $120,000 theoretically on this example because of what your group did. What did their group do? Now I have to give you another $150,000 for what their group did. What did their group do? What did their group do? Right? So if I multiply this by 30, 30 times 25,000 is how much? $750,000 as a buyout. What about this level? 30 times $125,000 is how much? Someone do the calculations. 30 times 125,000. How much? $3,750,000. What's 30 times 600? Okay, so that's what, 18 million? 18 million. What's 30 times 6 million? 180 million. $180 million buyout if you were good enough to build a network that went down 7 generations. That's why we're doing it. So when you look at business models, you always look at it for a reason. Why should we pay attention? Is $180 million a good enough reason to pay attention? I don't know any other business model that can get you that. You need to research this on your own. You need to see the validity behind this. Last year, look it up on Yahoo Finance. Yahoo Finance, your keyword is merchant portfolio sales. Yahoo Finance will show you a merchant portfolio of 7,000 businesses sold for $270 million. You don't need to record this. We're recording this. $270 million. If you look at the Forbes 500, the majority of the people in the Forbes 500, a good chunk of them, merchant services. Merchant services. Bank of America makes $480 billion a year. Merchant services. Merchant services. Do you know there's a company in the U.S. that makes $1.4 trillion? Merchant services. It's a company by the name of First Data. He knows it. He used to work for them. Merchant services. Our job, our fiduciary responsibility as corporate is to show you everything that's going on. So you can see if you want to participate a little bit or a lot. Let me explain to you the problems of the industry though. The problems of the industry is you don't get paid for 90 days. That's a long time in the eyes of a lot of us. 90 days without receiving an income. How many of you guys have been in real estate? Then you know what I'm talking about here, right? You work for this one guy. He doesn't make up his mind. He strings you along. You know you're going to make $30,000, but God, hijo de su, right? I mean, you're like, come on. Make a choice. He finally makes a choice, and you make your, well, I'm sorry, you have to cut your commission in half just to get the deal, right? You've been there? Now you didn't make $30,000, you made $15,000, but it took you 6 months to make it. So what's 6 months divided by 15,000? Not that much, right? Is it 10 bucks an hour? Is that crazy? Although your family and friends say, oh my God, you made $15,000. You do the math, you made as much as someone working at McDonald's. In real estate, I love you guys' phrases. Feast or famine, right? Feast or famine. We're either eating, I don't know, filet mignon, hamburger helper. I was going to use Top Ramen, but I like that one. Hamburger helper. We've all been there. We've all been there. So what's the solution? So let me give you the solution. We believe we found a solution to this fundamental problem in business, especially businesses like this. The fundamental solution here, and let me, can I write here? Oh, no, I have to write here, huh? Okay. Yeah, I got to write on this board in order for the people online to see this. Let me give you the fundamental solution. In order to get paid daily, you need to be a legitimate business. You need to be a business that has a merchant account. Actually, let me share with you this thing. I'll share with you what Google believes a real business is, and then I'll share with you what the SBA believes is a real business. So, according to Google, you're a real business if you own your own domain name with a website. You're a real business. That's Google. According to the SBA, you are a real business if you can actually collect money on your own with a merchant account that gets transferred into your bank account. So those are the two definitions of business I would like to use. Because if you're not doing these two things, you're not in business. You're someone else's contractor, for a lack of a better word, in their business model. That means everything you do as a contractor for someone else belongs to them. They own the asset. If they sell, they get the profits, not you. They don't have to share anything with you. They can cut you out and keep your money and never pay you. And that is not business. You know who I'm talking about. So that is what fundamental things that I dislike about business. That people think they're in business, but if they're not doing that, they're not in business. So we had to find a way to turn every entrepreneur into a real legitimate business. So here's what we did. We found a way to give someone a real merchant account. We found a way to give them a website with their own domain name to meet the criteria. The way we did that is you have to have a FICO score of 500. You have to qualify for this. If you do not have a FICO score of 500, you will not qualify to participate in this program. You will not. Let me explain to you what a 500 FICO score is. A cell phone, don't pay it, you got a 500. It's true. Bankruptcy is 550. So if you don't qualify for us, file for bankruptcy, and now you do. It's that simple. It's crazy, right? A 500 is so below the norm, right? Just to get a real estate loan, you need a 700. We're 200 points underneath all of that. Actually, that's not necessarily true. In 08, anybody could get a loan, right? In 08, you can tell them you work, you know, what was it? What do they call? No, but the docs were called no docs. No docs, self-employment. Oh my God. Stated income. That's what it was called. Stated income. I can state I make $1 million a month. Give me a loan, Bank of America. And they did. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to insult Bank of America or Wells Fargo or Chase or any of those banks. We are recording this. But those were fun times. That's all I'm saying. Those were fun times. Okay, so the requirements. 500 FICO. You need a domain name. You can buy those at GoDaddy, Network Solutions, for $10. $10. And you meet the criteria. We give you a website. You don't have to worry about that. That's already approved by Visa, MasterCard. We'll give you that one. And then you need a social or an EIN number to pay your taxes. You need a bank account. You need a voided check. What else? Did I miss something? What? An ID. No, I did. An ID. This is the criteria. I kid you not. This is the criteria. This an ID, like a state driver's license, or you, because we're going to take a picture to prove that you are you. You need a bank account with a voided check. If you do those things, we will give you software that will be able to deposit money right into your bank account in 48 hours. In 48 hours. Within days, now you're getting earnings. You're not making a commission, you're not making a check, you're making real earnings straight into your bank account because you have a merchant account with a website with a domain name. That is what our patent is all about, is that now we can do all of that in under 4 minutes. In under 4 minutes. But how much money can we make building a business network? Let me show you this. This is the second way that we get paid. So if you meet those criteria, you literally get started with a business that can create e-commerce businesses. Look, our philosophy is this. It happens maybe once, maybe twice in our lifetime, where you see something big, something that revolutionizes an industry, right? Lucas on Global is that thing for merchant services. In our own small way, we are going to change the world, but we're changing it because of merchant services. See, right now, there's two conversations going on in business. I'm a physical business, and I'm a .com. And those are the conversations. We believe it should be one conversation, a merger, a bridge that unites the physical and the e-commerce. And that way we can do business everywhere in any way in the business world. It doesn't matter if 60% of your clientele is here or 60% of your clientele is here. What matters is that you can facilitate the sale. And that is our technology. We actually have a technology that for the first time ever, we can give you a website, e-commerce capable, shopping cart capable, multi-language, multi-currency, with a CRM system, coupon system, voucher system, everything you need. You want an eBay store, you hit a button, you got an eBay store. You want an Amazon store, you hit a button, you got an Amazon store. An enterprise version e-commerce storefront that generally I would charge $15,000 to $20,000 for. We can give it to a consumer in 4 minutes for pennies on the dollar. Actually, your price as a brand partner is going to be around $300. Exactly, right? $300. The retail value of it is $7,000. You can give it to a merchant for $1,000, $2,000. You just did them a favor. The difference is yours, straight into your bank account. But think about the technology. For the first time ever, a physical merchant can hit a button, boom, he has an online version of himself, able to transmit money straight into his bank account. And at the same time, if he's a new physical business, in minutes, we can qualify him for a merchant account. In minutes, he can be up and running. He doesn't have to wait months. In minutes, he can do that. That's what our technology is all about. So instead of the old business model where you don't have technology, that you paid Visa, MasterCard $15,000, which is a fair price, Visa, MasterCard, I believe that's a fair price. Got to say that. But our business model is you won't become a true MSP, but you can have the same privileges of an MSP, but added technology. That is $1,000. But what happens is this. You get paid in multiple ways. One, you get paid 20% for bringing in a business network that they in turn can go out there and bring merchant accounts or bring in their own business network, right? So someone gets started with us and they pay $1,000 for the software, you're going to get $200 immediately into your bank account within 48 hours. So that's every 48 hours. So look, you can bring 2 people, now you got $400 into your bank account in 48 hours. But what happens if they start building a business network, their own business network in their own communities? They start telling business people what's going on with this business. They start getting involved. You didn't do anything, but you get a 3% override or $30 for every person that gets started in your business network. 3, every time you match 2 vertical markets. Now, I'm using very technical words, right? For some of you in networking, you're not used to calling this a vertical market. You're used to calling that a leg, right? The banking world doesn't understand legs. They think legs are this, right? In the business world, we call that a vertical market. So these are 2 vertical markets. That's how they look at it, right? So if we use their terminology, when you have 2 vertical markets and they match up, you get an additional 6% or $60 every time they match up. Every time they match up. Now, here's the caveat of this. The caveat is it doesn't matter if the people before you or the company starts placing people over here. As long as it matches up, you're getting that $60. And that's a cap of up to $5,000 in one day. You can't get paid more than $5,000 in one day in that bonus. This is daily, this is daily, this is daily. Daily income. If you can't survive on $5,000 a day, you need to fundamentally look at your spending habits. Okay? That's all we're saying. But look what that did for you. It gave you cash flow. Cash flow. So you can do one thing. You can have the money to go out there and actually get one physical account. So we can do what I shared with you in the beginning, to build a merchant portfolio, and we can make millions of dollars together. Together. Does that make sense? Let me ask this question. How many of you guys, and we'll do a crowd shout for this, how many of you guys, not if you're already in Lucas on Global, okay, how many of you guys have a merchant account currently that are not in Lucas on Global? Raise your hand. Okay, a couple of people. How many of you guys, including the Lucas on Global people, have a merchant account now? Look around. Have you ever had a merchant account before? Was it difficult to get a merchant account with us? No. Have you had money deposited directly into your bank account? Yes. What's your best day? The money deposited in the account. Best day deposited in your bank account.
You had $1,000 on the last one.
$1,000 on your last deposit, straight into your bank account, yes. Through Lucas on Global. Yes. What's your best day? You know I'm staring at you. Well, first of all, have you ever had a merchant account? You've had a merchant account before. Was it easier to get a merchant account with us or the way you did it before? It was easier to get it with Lucas on. What was your best day, your best deposit? $6,800 in one day deposited into your bank account. Not a check, straight into your bank account. Why are you all shy? You're usually grabbing me by the ear and telling me everything. Do you want to share with them what your total is? Do you know what your total is? About 80-some thousand. Oh, wow. We haven't been around for 3 months. This is our 3rd month. 80-some thousand dollars. You got to give her a round of applause for that one. Who wants to share your best day? Raise your hand. What's your best day? $520, your best day. Have you ever had a merchant account prior to LucasOn? Never. Have you ever been in business prior to LucasOn? I have. You have. All your life. And now, is this earnings directly into your bank account or a commission check? Direct to my Wells Fargo. Direct to Wells Fargo. Best day. 2,090 in one day. Have you ever had a merchant account? Never. First time. Directly into your bank account. Directly into your bank account. Who else wants to share your best day? Best day. 4,800? Then why did I was going to buy you Starbucks. Okay? You're going to buy Starbucks now. Your best day, 4,800. Have you ever had a merchant account before? This is your first time having a real merchant account. Directly into your bank account? Directly into the bank account. Oh, you guys got to give these guys a round of applause. Does that make sense? Now look. That is direct. This is not commissions. This is earnings. This is real earnings. Real earnings. There's a gentleman in the back. I'm just going to talk about him. When I met him, he was just a nice guy. Just a nice guy. Vietnamese guy, just a nice guy. And when we were showing him the business, we didn't have this office. We didn't have anything. We didn't have nothing. And we showed him on a paper napkin what we were going to do. LucasOn was already functioning as a regular MSP. We've been doing this for 20 years on merchant services, but not like this. Not like this. So when we shared with him the changes of the business model, he was scratching out a check before we even finished. And we said, no, I don't want to get your money right now. He goes, Oscar, I get it. I can build this. And I'm like, you're a nice little Vietnamese guy. No way. Right? Because before you used to think that these business guys are these like Donald Trumps. Right? That his hair has to be combed funny or something. And that way they're gurus. This guy was a nice guy. And I thought I was good. I thought, you get cocky sometimes in business. It's not a good thing, but sometimes you get cocky. Life slaps you down. life tends to, when you go through bankruptcy, your ego goes down to nothing. When you lose a company, guys, and you can't pay your employees, your ego goes to dirt. It took me 8 months to recover my self-esteem. I'll be honest with you guys. It's not, right? You go through the ups and downs in business. I did not think, I prejudged this man. I really did. And sometimes we're egomaniacs and we do stuff like that. I mean, it was stupid of me. In 14 days, he did over $1 million in business. In 14 days. Our first 3 days that we opened up, if you work as hard as he did and do what he does, you might have a chance of making his income. But this gentleman went to work and he gave me he sat me down and he says, Oscar, I'm going to put 50 people in front of you every day for 2 weeks. Are you willing to support me? I said, sure, but I don't think you're going to do it. Right? I said, sure, but in my mind I was thinking, yeah, you're not going to do that. The next day he had 50 people. She was one of them. He had 50 people in the room twice a day. Twice a day. It was like a caravan. I'm like, what the hell is going on? This man went to work, and I didn't eat. I lost weight. I'm down to my last belt buckle because of this guy. And it's weird, right? Because I'm Latin. I like to eat some bread, and I couldn't even eat that. And it's funny because he had us working. When we opened up the business, the first 3 days, let me share with you his deposits. Day number 1, $9,000. Day 2, $47,000. Day 3, over $78,000. He made over $120,000 in the first 4 days of us opening our doors 3 months ago. And that man is Mr. Daniel Wynn, somewhere back there. Daniel, where are you? Come on, show your face a little bit. He's like way back there. What's he doing? He's what? He's signing someone up? Go over there and just have him just wave his hand. He's signing someone up? Oh my God, how dare him? How do you sign someone up in the middle of a presentation? Do you understand? This is real, and this is just nice people. Oh, look at that. He's in our office. Daniel, just tell him to wave. He's so shy. That's him. That's Daniel Wynn. Come here real quick, can you? Look how nice he is. Look, he's just a nice guy. You know, he hasn't made under $100,000 a month with us in the past 3 months. Yeah, this is. You want to learn how to do this? You learn from him. I did. Okay, but it's because I was just explaining to them that you forced me. Can you use the mic?
Yeah.
You forced me to speak to 50 people a day. What was the deal? Like 2 weeks? Did you say?
2 weeks.
Okay, but he hasn't stopped. Okay. The problem is I've lost weight because he hasn't stopped.
Now I need to lose weight too.
You need to lose weight.
Weight too. Yeah.
I'll bring you people. You do the presentations. Have you ever had a merchant account before?
No.
You've never had a merchant
Never
account
have
before?
an account before.
Is this can I say logistically this is the first time you've had money deposited directly into your bank account?
That's correct.
Before in your other businesses you got what? Checks?
Checks or e-wallet.
E-wallet? Oh, you got an e-wallet.
But not in US dollars.
Oh, not in US dollars. You got an e-wallet with no US dollars. You had it divided by 7 or something like that?
7.75.
7.75? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Has this been, I mean, by the way, you're live on the internet.
Yes, I know that.
Oh, you know that? Okay. Just in case you didn't know. We've been doing this for 3 months now.
Right.
What do you see, how do you see LucasOn being different than the other multi-level marketing companies or any other business model? What can you say about that?
I say this one is a real business because Visa, MasterCard will be there for a long, long time. The second thing I like about this business because you get paid daily and they deposit to your bank account. Thirdly is this is your real business. You can sell your business.
Yes.
That's the main thing. All the businesses, you work and you make money for people, making money for the company, but you never have a chance to sell that business. Right?
Are you willing to sell your business to me right now?
No, not right now.
I'll give you an offer.
You already gave me an offer last week.
Oh yeah, I did, huh?
But I refused it.
Mr. Daniel Nguyen, guys, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
He's just a nice guy. You know, a lot of us, especially in the merchant service industry, I'm gonna put you on the spot. They don't make that kind of money. Turn around. You can see who I'm talking to. Raise your hand. He's been in the merchant service industry working with First Data, right? And Bank of America. Have you ever seen any merchant service guy make that type of money? Rare? Not in their first 3 months, huh? First 2 years? 5 years? 5 years into the industry, you can make his kind of money. Yet he was able to do it in 3 months. Actually, he was able to do it in 15 days. In 15 days. Guys, what you've done literally equals to 3 years of merchant service work. Are you willing to sell your business to me today? No? Son of a gun, guys. I need to buy some of you guys out. Some of you guys' income is going to flourish. Actually, what's amazing is someone in Daniel Nguyen's 5th generation is bringing in a casino for $150 million a month. Why do you think he doesn't want to sell to me right now? Right? That is the magic of what we're trying to do here. This is not a regular business model. This is a hybrid. This is the best of networking, the best of merchant services molded together. It's not easy what we're doing here because we're literally turning everyone into a real business where we can deposit earnings directly to their bank account. So here's what I want to do. I want to take a small break. Guys, make sure you do not turn off the broadcast because if you do, then we can't show them the training. We're going to take about a 5-minute break. I want to make sure that before I start showing you everything else, that you really want to be here. If the timing is wrong, thank you. But remember us. Remember us every time you use a Visa, MasterCard. Remember every time you do a payment. Remember us that you could have been making that percentage of that company. Remember us. And later on, look us up. Because a lot of people wish or hope that we stop. But we are not stopping for no one. We are on a crusade and a movement that will educate the small business owner of what exactly is going on with his merchant accounts. And we're going to educate the network marketer and elevate him to the same level as an owner of a hotel. We deserve that in networking. That's why we're doing this. That's why this won't stop. Not because someone threatens us. Never because someone threatens us. You threaten us, you make us stronger. I'm sorry. I get a little upset. I am not here to be second best. I'm not here to be second best. Warren Buffett once said, when you have a tiger by the tail, there's no time to second guess yourself. Run! Run! Right? Run! We got a tiger by the tail here, and we're running. 11,000 people have already joined us in 3 months. On April 12th, we go live internationally. The world will feel us, and they will know that we're providing services to the small business owner that will lower his costs, and that way he can hire more employees, then we can stimulate the country. That's what we're doing here. Give the small business owner more money so he can hire more, so we can stimulate the country. And if you want to stop that, you're not an American. Sorry. So let's take a 5-minute break before I start yelling at the camera, and we'll come back here for a training. Thank you very much. I'm going to explain every single bonus that we have, and I'm going to explain what's coming up for April 12th. Because a lot of the bonuses you're seeing here are going to get added to. We never take away, we always add. We're in a philosophy where we always add. We never take away. Let me say that again. We always add. We never take away. So. Can you hear the fan on the internet? No, you guys are good? Okay. One of the biggest challenges we have is how fast we grow. How fast we grow. This is a startup. This is a startup. I'm going to say that one more time. This is a startup. That means we're growing. That means we're still in a growth phase. Things are being produced as we speak. Videos are being created. Training materials being created. Certification processes are being created. All of that is happening now. So you got two options. You can be a founding father of an idea, or you can be someone who gets started 5 years after an idea has been completely vetted. Let me show you the difference. When Google got started, they gathered investors, right? And I don't know if you guys know the story of the Google, guys, but they had an idea and they went to a venture capital company, and the venture capital company said, "Search engines? We don't need more search engines. We have AltaVista, Yahoo, MSN, AOL. We got plenty of search engines." And the VC passed them up. But another private investor offered them $1 million if they can get another $1 million on their own. That was the deal. So they gathered up their friends and family and gathered the $1 million. The investor came in with his $1 million, and Google was started. You know what Google does? Only one thing. Search. That's it. Their philosophy was to be the best at one thing. Search. They don't do 1,000 other things. They do search. You go to Google, it says search, right? It says search. And now you don't look up a keyword on a search engine. You Google it, right? Google has changed our vocabulary the way Xerox has changed our vocabulary, right? You don't fax something, you Xerox it, right? You don't look things up, you Google it. That is the difference between a movement and just another technology. There was technologies out there before Facebook. Before Facebook. There was MySpace. Before MySpace, Friendster. Right? How many of you guys remember Friendster? That was a weird one, right? It was like, okay, right? But MySpace had a good concept. The problem was it was too open source. So you had people do some amazingly silly things on the backgrounds, right? And then porn was rampant on MySpace. And it couldn't be a place that was safe for professionals and for children. So Facebook came up as and look at the philosophy of Facebook. MySpace is everyone can see your MySpace. Everyone can see your MySpace. Facebook didn't say that. Facebook said it's exclusive. Only if I allow you, only if you're my friend, can you see my Facebook. It was a velvet rope. The one fundamental difference was that. And then they said everyone gets the same looking thing. The only difference is the pictures and what you put into the system, right? That way everybody knows how to manage your Facebook. In MySpace, you didn't know what button to hit, when to hit it, what to hit. Right? You will get it confused depending on whose MySpace you went to. So Facebook did what Blockbuster did. Facebook, in essence, did what Blockbuster did to the video industry. If you remember the video industry, it was a lot of mom and pops all over the place. They all had their own systems and processes. And then Blockbuster came in and franchised everything. They made it all the same. That way anybody in New York can go into a Blockbuster and do the same thing that someone in LA did, right? That's what they did. They cleaned it up. Facebook did the same thing. But look at Blockbuster's scenario. And Blockbuster, they had a good idea, but they didn't grow with technology. And like a lot of companies who don't grow with the times, eventually you shut down. If you don't embrace the technology, Eventually, the technology will overwhelm you and it will shut you down. No amount of money can help you when technology is not on your side. So the idea here is technology is a force multiplier. Technology is truly a force multiplier. Netflix came in and wiped the floor with Blockbuster. Right? Wiped the floor with them. Now there's one Blockbuster per state. Ah, crap. Right? Imagine renting a movie. Shit, I got to go to Sacramento, sweetheart. No way. Netflix is download it, right? But look what happened to Netflix. The simple fact that they didn't grow. They didn't embrace the times. Are they still there? Yes. But who took over the industry? Redbox. Redbox is now 3 times the size of Netflix. Because what they said is, there's a duality here. There's 2 conversations in business. There is the physical conversation, and there's the internet conversation. They said, let's make it as one. As one. And Redbox, you can go physically to a grocery store, or you can go online and download it. That's what happens. So the evolution of business is to do business where the business is at. That is business. Our job is to facilitate the transactions, no matter whether you're a physical business or an online business. The duality. And a lot of times there's a fight between regular business owners and internet business owners. The internet business owners say, you guys are old time. You guys, you're the past. We're the future. We're the new generations. You're the old generation, right? And there's a line. There's a digital divide, they call it. These guys are saying, wait till the internet shuts down. It's going to shut down one day, and you're going to regret your words. That Chihuahua with the tutu is nothing, right? The Chihuahua with the tutu is kicking our butts. It really is. You got a guy that puts up a video of a Chihuahua with the tutu, and he gets 10 million views. Your physical business doesn't have 10 million of nothing, right? How can you get 10 million customers through your door? Damn, that's hard. The Chihuahua with the tutu did it in a month. Is that crazy? That is crazy. What we're saying here with this technology is that we must set aside our petty differences. Business is business. And there is no difference between a networker and an owner of a hotel. There's no difference between an online person and an offline person. There should never be a difference. There's always obstacles, but we can always solve those things. But we need to work together to do that. And I think that's the biggest thing that we're saying in LucraZone. Look, I don't know where you're at in your business life, but you also need to grow. You also need to evolve your business model. You, right? My business model before was I'm a web developer and I'm a speaker. And I'm going to get paid as a web developer and a speaker. What kind of crap is that? I mean, think about it, right? I built a software for Ford Motor Company. My ego was, right? My marketing company in New York was impressive. You see 50% of the billboards in Las Vegas, they were mine. I walked out there with a chip on my shoulder. I'm a big man, right? And I would tell people, that's mine, that's mine, that's mine. No, that's my clients, right? They just paid me for it. You know what happened to me? I was so cocky that when I built the software for Ford Motor Company, I got paid $100,000 a dealership. I was thinking I was eating filet mignon, right? Look at me. 10 dealerships, $1 million. I'm good, right? They turned on the software. They started making $1 million a month per dealership. I didn't get royalties. Right? I didn't know about that. I didn't know to even ask. I just got paid for the job. I got paid once. They got paid for life. I didn't get that. So when I found out how much, so I did a survey with the dealerships, and how much did your dealership grow in business? They said, we did an extra 1.5 million this month. Thank you, Oscar. I'm like, and then I called the other dealers, go, that's a fluke. And they did another $1 million. So the guy did 600,000. But on average, they all did about $1 million. I was like, oh my God. I thought I was eating filet mignon. I had top ramen. They had filet mignon. And I'm like, how dumb of me. Not only that, but I didn't get the merchant account for Ford Motor Company. Imagine if I would have gotten paid every time someone swiped just to do the deposit for one of their cars, right? That's what I said. I said, shit, right? I don't know if I can say that online, but she said it first, okay? Point the camera at her. So when you look at that, you get humbled. You get humbled in business. You think you're making money. You think some of us have egos the size of Mount Everest. And guys, $100,000 a month, that's good money. But that's not $180 million a year. Right? We are looked at as the dirt of business. Networkers, not all of you guys. Some of you guys are networkers, other guys are traditional business people. But let me talk to you networkers. We're looked at as the lowest part of business. Wall Street's looked at as the highest. Right? Why is that? Why is that? Why is the owner of a Hilton more important than a networker when the networker brings in the same amount of volume? What I said is, let the playing field be leveled. Let the networker be worth as much. So that's why every one of us has a merchant account. Every one of us, let me explain this. You have a merchant account. Let's say you're person A and you bring in person B. They have a merchant account. When someone comes in and pays $1,000, our gateway takes the $1,000, runs it through your merchant account, and puts $1,000 in your bank. Then we take out $800 and start paying all the way up to Visa, MasterCard. It's called split funding. You are generating $1,000 in revenue through your merchant account. Your merchant account is now valuable in the eyes of a bank. You are now a legitimate business equal to a restaurant owner, equal to a hotel, equal to everything out there. That's what we've done. That's why you can sell your business down the road. You can sell it. If you're making $10,000 a month, I could sell it for at least 1 year's earnings, $120,000. You could, because it's generating revenue. It's the same thing as if you start a restaurant and the restaurant started making you $10,000 a month in profit. Couldn't you sell your restaurant for a profit? Yes. Why has that not been available in networking? You know why? Because they don't want it. They don't want you to be a real business partner. They want you to be a semi-quasi employee called an independent contractor, that you bring in customers for them. Look at networking. Networking doesn't pay like that. Networking is all about all the money goes here. There's one merchant account. It belongs to them. The customers come in. You're bringing the customers, but the customer belongs to them. The asset, the value is theirs. Now, that takes liability too, though. They run the risk, because if all of these people start lying, stealing, and cheating, and there's reverse charges, they can get shut down. That's what networking is. But networking also is that all the money goes here, 30 days later, the money is paid down. That's multi-level. We do the banking system. Our engine is the banking system, not this. This is called traditional business. It's called batching. Batching. At the end of the day, you batch all the orders you come in, right? Now, then people ask the question, Oscar, how can that merchant, especially these merchant guys, how can that merchant be viable every month, right? That's the other question. If you don't do transactions every month, you're not a real merchant. But think about it. What if you bring in 2 brand partners? There's a $50 a month hosting fee, right? That means $50 here, $50 there. Your merchant account is now doing an average of $100 a month every month for the life of the business. That's how we keep that merchant account viable, where the banks are saying, oh, this is a real business, right? For every new brand partner you bring in, that you personally bring in, you're doing another $50 a month, right? So now your business is worth even more. That's how we did that. Now, how do we pay off of that? I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how lucrative it is to bring in more than 2 brand partners. You want to bring in more than 2 brand partners, but you want to at least do 2. You want to do 2. So we're going to go through daily income, and we're going to go through how the company's income is shared with everyone. Fair enough? Okay. Do you understand the difference? This is called split funding. This is networking. Right? We don't want to do that. That's a lot of liability. We want to do this because you mitigate the liability. Look at this example just to wrap this up. Let's say this person, for some reason, misunderstood our business model. And they thought we sold Starbucks. I don't know how the hell they would think that, but let's say they did, right? And they start getting people involved saying, come in, for $1,000 you can own a Starbucks. Weird. People get in, they find out they can't, they do a reverse charge. Too many of those, he gets shut down. Because he's the one that did that. That person doesn't get affected. That person doesn't affect it. No one gets affected above that. You mitigate the risk to the individual, not to the company. Interesting, huh? So here's the other question. What if you bring a merchant and he has a merchant account and he commits fraud or something? Your liability is still good. You're still alive. You just provided a merchant account. So the liability is his if he uses his merchant account for the right reason. So let's say we give a merchant account for a dry cleaner. But all of a sudden he's using it to sell medicinal plants. I don't want to say what they are, but they're magic plants, right? So you get a merchant account for a dry cleaners, and yet you're selling these magic plants, right? That can cure anything once you smoke them, right? So, is that fraud? Yes. But are you liable for it? No. He is. I'm not saying that he has the medicinal plants, okay? Don't come to him later. Okay, so that's what we're saying. So a lot of people ask, what's our risk? You're the facilitators of the merchant account. What they do with their merchant account is it's on them. And that is very important to know, right? So clearing that up. Okay, now how is that valuable? Okay, what do you guys want to know first? Do you want to know the big picture? Or do you want to go straight into the how we get paid on all the daily incomes? Okay, let's do the dailies and then we do the big picture. Let's do it reverse this time. Okay? Okay. Let me go through each and every one of our ways that we get paid. And then then I'll go into big picture, and then we'll wrap it up by explaining how easy it is to bring a merchant account. And I actually have examples of merchant accounts, and I will show you how much savings we're saving companies, real savings for these merchant accounts. So let's write down all the different ways we get paid. We get paid the 20%. We get paid the 3%. We get paid the 6%. We get paid 50% off the merchant accounts. Did you get that one? Chicken scratch. We get paid levels underneath the merchant accounts. We get paid daily on the 10% daily marketing bonus of the entire company, only available until April 12th. And then this one goes away. Whoever has it keeps it for life. Whoever gets started after April 12th, they never get it. Actually, there's going to be rough qualifiers for them to even participate in that one. Okay, and we'll show you why. We don't want this one to dilute anymore. We want this one to go up. Okay? Some of you guys are already going, ooh, you guys didn't know that? Okay, 7, we're going to talk about the company-wide lifelong. We call it a lifelong. We don't want to pay daily just for 1 day or 30 days. We want to pay daily for life. Lifetime daily marketing bonuses. Okay. You ready? Let's do the simple ones first. Simple ones. 20%. How does it pay? You bring in a brand partner, he pays $1,000, right? 20% or $200 is yours within 48 hours after the first week. So let me explain this. When you sign up your first week, we need a week to clear money. And then it's every day. Then it's every day. So you're actually 1 week behind. You're 1 week behind, then it's daily. Fair enough? Why? I want to make sure you guys know this. Because a personal check's being bounced. That's a big problem. Because of transactions being charged back. We need to make sure that the transaction is good, right? Our philosophy is that within 7 days, if you do not know what this business is, it's your fault. There's no refunds, right? But our other philosophy is if you don't know what this business is about, we don't want you here. Right? If you don't know that Merchant Portfolios makes hundreds of millions of dollars and you don't want to participate in that, and you rather go make $500 a month doing some other silly thing, go make $500 a month. We'll stick to our millions. We don't want you here. Right? This is not for everyone. Let me be honest here. I have to be honest here. You cannot just bring everyone here. They have to be business people, salespeople, people who've done business with business people. Right? I don't know how else to justify them. It can't be just someone who's never been in business, that is scared of business, and you're taking their last. Don't take anyone's last dollar. A business based on fear will never last. A business based on fear will never last. You guys notice you go to Las Vegas and it's your last $20, you're going to lose it, right? But have you noticed the guy who doesn't give a crap? And he puts it all down, you know, put it double down on black. And he wins, and you go, how the hell does that happen? Because he doesn't give a crap. The energy is totally different, right? Business based on fear will never succeed. Business based on fear will never succeed. So don't do that. Don't do that. Don't bring just everybody here. Now, let's take back that philosophy. I was one of those guys in fear. When I first got started networking, I needed a mentor. I needed someone that would teach me business. I was scared out of my mind. I was 19 years old. Prior to that, I was a diver with the U.S. Olympic team. I flipped and twisted trying to go to the Olympics. Prior to the Olympic trials in 92, I hit my head on the 10-meter platform. Yeah. Yeah, back 3.5 somersault. Let me show you. So, right? So it was like that. Here's the water. My legs were tucked like this. I hit right here. A blood stain. I landed somewhere here. And then they put me in this thing, right? Yeah. I woke up in here trying to flip. I'm on the backboard, and they're going, what the hell are you doing? I'm trying to make it to the Olympics. He goes, no, son, your head's wide open. And they said, who's the president of the United States? What a stupid question to ask when I just woke up, right? I said, Greg Louganis. You know? I said, you're in trouble. I fall asleep. I wake up in surgery, gushing blood. My mom breaks into the surgery room. She starts yelling, he's dead, he's dead. I thought I was dead. It's like, oh, shit. So that's what it's like, right? I woke up again, and they signed off on my scholarships. I couldn't go back to diving. They said I was this close to being a quadriplegic. I was scared. You just took the thing I love the most from my life, right? Scared, angry, pissed off. I was all those things. And then someone brought me to a meeting like this. Holy crap. All of a sudden I sat there and I said, wow, right? And I started meeting people making all this money and then everyone can do it. And I got hope. And I'm like, wow, maybe a guy with Speedos can make it, right? That's what I was thinking. I wear Speedos. Can I do it too? I realized not everybody wore Speedos. That was a weird way to make friends. But it was strange, right? I kept on telling people, I wear Speedos. I shave my legs. Like I was, like, you know, like, woohoo, I shave my legs. Guys, don't tell people you shave your legs. So it was weird. So my first year, I was the worst at it. But I met someone who was like a mentor. This guy was a jerk. It was the biggest jerk in the world. But I needed that. I needed a strong person, because when I was weak, and I went up to him and I said, sir, you know, I got an idea. And he goes, so? Shut up. And I said, but, and he goes, Oscar, how much money did you make last year? It's about 20,000. This is what he always said. People retain 7 and 10% of whatever they hear the first time. He goes, if you ever played the whisper down the lane, you know, game, what if you were a genius and you retained 50%, and I told someone who told someone who told someone who told, you know, you, and you tell someone? What's the chance of success there? Slim to none. And he goes, if you would shut the hell up and listen to people that have made money and everybody can come to the source, what's your chance of success? I said 50%. He goes, yes. He goes, I made 10 million. And then he said a bad word. Shut the, well, we have kids here, so I can't say that. And he walked away, and I said, crap. But it hit me like a ton of bricks. He always said, lead, follow, or get out of the way. Those were his 3 statements. Lead, follow, or get out of the way. Right? And I had to follow for a long time before I can lead. And I followed, and I followed, and I followed. And then I got a chance to lead. But I got out of the way a lot. I got out of the way a lot. I did. Because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. My first presentation, man, that was embarrassing, actually. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes when you talk, you know, in front of a crowd, there's nerves, especially the first time. I literally peed myself. I literally did. I was that shy of a kid. That shy at 18, going into 19, doing network marketing, 1992. By 1997, I got better. But I made on my first company total $40,000 in 4 years. No? No, okay, see, she gets a round of applause. I get a, oh, man, you suck. Yes, I know, right? But I needed a mentor that guided me and guided me and guided me and showed me and showed me and showed me. But I had to let myself be guided. And that was the whole idea of that. When I left that company, in 5 weeks, I made $70,000. I learned something that I didn't know I learned. I applied it in another industry, and I made $70,000 in 5 weeks. I became one of the best in branding and marketing. I started servicing multi-level marketing companies. My company in Las Vegas, Nevada, Market to Millions, was making millions of dollars in websites and branding material for all sorts of companies because of what I learned. I didn't know what I didn't know. And I didn't know what I learned until I applied it. And then I kept on getting better and better and better and better, and now I speak a little bit more confidently. At least I don't pee my pants anymore, right? And that's what I'm saying. Sometimes even the guy that's scared the most can become something decent, right? Am I the best? By no means am I the best. I have hopes that you guys become the Oprah Winfreys and the Anthony Robbins of this industry. I have hopes that we can bring you and elevate you so you guys can be the movie stars. I don't want to be Tom Cruise. I need you guys to be Tom Cruise. I need you guys to be the stars of the movie. It is your movie. It is your time. This is your time, not our time. This is your time. And unless you do that, unless you pick up the reins and take charge, unless you do that, you will never, ever become a multi-millionaire. You must not wait for the person that brought you in here. You must do it yourself. You must do it yourself. Do not have an excuse that the person who brought you in does not know what they're doing, because it's not up to them, it's up to you. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. I learned that a long time ago. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. Be self-educated. Be self-educated. You do that, and no excuse in the world will ever matter. Destiny is yours. But you must take it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So don't bring Oscar in 1992. Bring Oscar in 1997. Does that make sense? My mentality grew because, look, we will guide people. We're bringing in trainers in the industry that will educate you, that will bring you up your self-esteem, that will show you how to be monsters in this industry. These guys are amazing. These guys were instrumental in building our business in 1992 to 5,000 offices in 3 years, and we were ranked in the Forbes 500, the #1 spot in the Forbes 500 the first 3 years. That same crew is coming in here and going to be teaching everyone how to elevate themselves in business. They start next month. We start bringing a culture to this business that is more like a Zappos culture, a giving culture. And we do service for you so you can do business with us. That is the culture we want. Because for us to drive a movement, we must be a movement of servitude. And that is one thing. But confidence, don't misunderstand me. This is not, oh, please, rule my world. Bullshit. This is you taking over the world. Okay, but it's servitude. I cannot expect you to do business with me if I don't share my knowledge first. That's what we mean. I didn't mean to say bullshit in front of kids. I'm sorry. Okay, so 20%. Let's go back to that. 20%. It's very easy. All we do is we take, again, A and B. A is getting B involved. B pays $1,000 with their credit card. Any additional units you must pay with a financial instrument that's approved by the banks. No cash. No cash, because we don't know where it's coming from. If a guy named Juan is getting involved with us, Juan needs to have a cashier's check that says it's coming from Juan. So we know it came from Juan, not someone else. We will follow U.S. rules and U.S. laws. We will never break U.S. laws in the banking world, and we will never break Visa, MasterCard laws at all. Does that make sense? So the gateway takes the money, deposits the full $1,000 in your bank account. What happens if you have a negative 200 bank account? We can't do that. So be a good business person and have a positive bank account, or at least have a zero bank account. Because we're going to put in $1,000 and then take out $800, leaving you with $200, which is the 20%. Do you see how that works? But if you have a negative bank account, you will get bypassed, and your $200 is lost. So how many guys want to lose money? Raise your hand. Okay, have $1 in your bank account, please. That's all we need. That way we can pay. Do you think she has more than $1 in her bank account? At $80,000, we would hope so, right? So we need to make sure. Do you have more than $1 in your bank account? You're laughing like you don't. You put it back. Okay? Put it back. But that's how that works. That's called split funding. That's why your business is worth money to the banks. If we do not do that, you're a sales rep. The money is not worth it, right? You're not worth anything to the banks if we do it any other way. So that's why split funding is there. Okay, let's move on. Any questions on the 20%? Is it pretty blunt? Okay, thank you. 20% done. Let's check that off. Check. 3%. How does the 3% work? This is you in red. You bring in your personals, right? And let's say these are your personals. And let's say these are their personals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 3% works where anything in black, you get 3%. Up to 5, look, we call them generations. Here's a simple way to say it. A brand partner that has a merchant account, right? Or a business unit, because it's a business. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you want more, you have to put a personal referral there, and then you can get another 5 underneath them. Business units and brand partners. That makes sense? So you can expand this every time you put a personal and then expand it. That makes sense? So that's $30, $30, $30, $30, $30, $30, $30, $30, and on and on and on and on. That's how that works. Does that make sense? On both sides of the fence. Also here, on both sides. This is considered your personal tree. That means you only get paid off of what your personal referrals bring in and what their personal referrals bring in. Does that make sense? So does that mean that if I bring someone on your, so here's two vertical markets, 1 and 2. I put someone in your group, do you get anything out of 3%? Right? If you got started with me, that's called spillage. You don't. It's only your personal group. Does that make sense? Any questions on that? Check. 6%. Let's look at the 6%. Let's erase this. This is you again. You have a guy. You have two guys. They have guys. And this goes crazy, right? This is Mr. Daniel Wynn's group. This is how it went. We went 7 levels deep in 2 days. We went 80 levels in his organization in 14 days. Wham! 80 levels. 80 levels. So the 6% works every time there's a match, right? So is there a match here? Yes. So you get $60 there, right? 6% of 1,000. 6% of 1,000, $60, right? So there's a match. But look what happens. What happens when people that got started before you start putting people over here as well, and it's also your group bringing in people. It doesn't matter. It's called company-wide. So spillage doesn't matter at this point. As long as there's a match, you're getting 60 here, 60 here, 60 here, 60 here, 60 here, 60 here, and you can see how it goes infinite levels. As long as there's a match. So if you have $1 million on this leg, and then you have 500,000 on this leg, you get paid up to the 500,000 because you matched it. Does that make sense? That's every day up to $5,000 that day. So if you matched up to $5,000 in one day, that's where it stops. The next day, they see how many other matches, and they see if they're going to give you another $5,000. That's paid daily. That's paid daily, daily, daily. Everything's actually daily, except for the merchant accounts. That's monthly. It's the only thing. Does that make sense? So in this case, if I put someone in the organization, you get paid. So it's not just your effort. Now it's all of our efforts, which is a lot better. I will guarantee you that 80% of your income came off that 6%. Is that a fair statement? Yeah. We have a gentleman here, just walked in, that when he got started, he had one leg go to $12 million. And he started collecting this 6% like a cash register. It was crazy. Gesundheit. It's crazy. Then he had his other leg. I'm sorry, we shouldn't call them the legs. One vertical goes 12 million. Then the other vertical went 6 million. Mr. Wences Navarro, right back there in the white shirt. The last time I checked, what was last month's income for you guys? Okay, let me say it for him. A little over $450,000. They work hard. If you work as hard as they do, you got a chance, right? Look at him. Does he have 3 arms? 6 legs? My hair is better than his. How is he? Well, I assume, right? I mean, ladies, whose hair is better, his or mine? Right? Well, his wife is there, so let's not talk about it. Okay, so look, that's a human being. That's a human being that breathes, right? He goes to the restroom like all of us. In fact, we were there recently, yesterday. I said, "What are you doing here?" Yeah, that's not besides that. That's a little too much. Okay, but look, we have a reality show that happens here every day. It's just so funny on the things that happen to us, and we're laughing because I'm going, man, how much money did you make last month? And people think that your life is different. Like you go to the restroom and golden toilets. No, we use public toilets. But it's funny that can it be safe to say that 80% of your income's at the 6%? 85% of all his income came off that 6%. 85%. You want to learn how to place? You go to them. You go to them. Because they're so good at it. He's maxed out that $5,000 only 7 days out of the month. On multiple positions. So he knows how to do that. Does that make sense? My job as corporate is just to show you the raw numbers. His job is to show you how he moves it. Their job is to show you how they move it. This young lady blew my records away. And she's nice. I always thought, man, give me a jerk, because that way I can justify it, saying a jerk just blew me away. Because I'm not a jerk, that's why I'm not making their money. No, but when you have nice people, good business people making money, you go, wow, this is more than possible for everybody. Right? Oh, she's all shy. Stop it. Stop it. But, so that's what we're talking about. That's the 6%. Now, the merchant accounts. Okay, any question on this 6%? Okay, I'm gonna share with you guys something on all three of these bonuses that will blow your mind. At the end of the month, things are changing for the better, and I'm gonna blow your mind. Blow your mind. But blow it. It's just gone. You're blown. Okay, 50% on the merchant accounts. That was the first example. Do we have to do it again? Are you guys clear about the merchant accounts? Let's save that just in case we need to do it again later. The levels of the merchant accounts, that was with that same example. Let's save that if we need to do it again later, because I need to explain to you how to bring in a merchant account. The 10% daily marketing bonus, let's explain that. One, you will find this under the income tab on your back office, income tab. You will see every day your daily income. The way we calculate it is 10% off of all revenue that day. That day. So let me explain this. I'm going to go a little bit into detail, more detail than you guys are going to want. But I need to make sure you guys understand how this works. 1, 2, 3, no, there's 4 weeks out of the month, right? 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so let's say it's 6 days out of the week. It's not, it's 5 business days, right? So this is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Here's Saturday and Sunday. This is day 1, this is day 30. Fair enough? If day 1, we get 100 people involved, times 1,000, right? How much is that? 100,000. So we did $100,000 in revenue. So what's the daily say? 10%. So what's 10% of 100,000? 10,000. Divided by the amount of people we have. But let me share with you the fundamental problem with this. Day 1, it looks great. Some of you guys seen some awesome numbers, right? On your dailies, on this day 1. That's 100 people divided by 10,000. How much is that? About $100, isn't it? So that day, everyone gets $100. Is it pretty exciting? Woohoo! Right? Yeah, dailies. Woohoo! $100. That's not it. And don't record this video and say, Oscar said $100. No, I'm showing you the example how we calculate it. What's the next day? Let's say the next day we do the same amount. But now we have $100,000 that came in, plus another 100 people, plus the original 100. Now you got 200, right? Now you got 200 people dividing up $10,000. Are you with me? So now it's not 100, now it's $50 that day. What happens day 3? Let's say if theoretically it does the same thing. That's another 100,000 that comes in. That adds another 100 people, right? So now it's 300 people divided by 10,000. Now you got like $33. The next day, are you with me? 100 people get in, $100,000 comes in. Now you got 400 people dividing $10,000. How much is that? 25 bucks. And on and on and on and on. Do you see how it can go lower and lower and lower, right? Then eventually it's going to hit like 80 cents, right? And then there's some people that have multiple business units that just add to the conglomerate of this, that speeds this whole process up. So we had to find a way to mitigate the losses and start increasing it. So on April 12th, it shuts down. If you're within April 12th, and let's say there's 10,000 of us, now there's only 10,000. So if we generate $100,000, now I don't know about you guys, but at the end of the month, every last week at the end of the month, you have a lot of business that comes in. You have $1 million day there. You got a $5 million day, whatever. Though that end of the month week actually is paying you the most, right? Because everybody gets a little tired in the beginning of the month. You networkers know what I'm talking about. So at the end of the month, but look what happens when we lock it. When we lock it, month 1, or the first month that it's locked, you share with a lot less people that same 10%. So when the company is doing $1 million a month or $10 million a month, it's the same amount of people sharing more of the money. So now the dailies go like this. Do you see that? That is called our preferred brand partner program. And guess what? You're all preferred brand partners. Anybody before April 12th is a preferred brand partner. Some of you guys have been seeing, what was, you want to mention what yours was? How much? So you were at 400? First day you were at $400? Woohoo! And then it went to $5? Because it's calculated every day. So the reason it took us a lot longer to calculate this is because we got to calculate it every day. If one day $80,000 comes in, or one day 10 million comes in, we got to calculate it, then divide it up by the amount of people that qualified for that bonus. You got to qualify for that bonus too. Now, let's talk about, are we clear here on what happens? So instead of dilution, we're going to see increases after April 12th. Does that make sense? So consider yourself very fortunate, because people after April 12th are going to want to be you. They're going to say, wait, you guys get a bonus that we don't get? Yes. Why? Because you got started before the kickoff. This is pre-launch. This is pre-launch. This is a startup, and a lot of people go, why should they get paid more money? Because they're here without the video. They're here without a brochure. They're here, obviously, before it all got smoothed out. Anybody can do a business when it's perfect. You show me the pioneers that will do a business when it's not. That's what you guys are. You guys are the pioneers, and that's why you deserve that. So that's what we're doing there. All right, let's talk about the qualifiers. There's no way any business can pay something for nothing. It doesn't work like that. You don't get something for nothing. That's not our business model. That's not a business model. That, I don't know what the hell that is. I can't put it into words, right? I could, but I don't want to. But the banking system and the regular business world says, I sell a product or a service, I get paid. So you must bring in a merchant, right? And actually, here's what it is. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. You bring in one merchant, you qualify for those 90 days, right? As long as you bring. What if you bring 10 merchants in 1 month? Yes, that means it rolls over, right? But let me explain this. What is a merchant? Is a brand partner a merchant? Yes. 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 Is a merchant? Yes, because he's a merchant, right? Is an e-commerce merchant a merchant? Yes. So everything's a merchant account. Everything's a merchant account. That's it. That's the qualification. So what does that mean? That's daily. That's monthly. That's daily. All of that. Let me explain to you the lifetime daily marketing bonus. For life, you don't even have to do anything for this one. For life, what we do is we do this. We take all the business that's coming in and we force everyone to be on a 2x11 forced matrix. Every month, we all have a $50 monthly fee. So what we've done is this. Let me explain to you this way. Again, I'll do my calendar. You have A. Let's call this A, number 6. Let's call this one B. Right? Let's call this one B. So what we do for that day, the way we pay you, is A plus B equals total daily marketing bonus. That's how we pay you. So the way it works is if you bring in on your first level a personal brand partner, you just added $15 that day to your daily marketing bonus for the life of the business. That means every day on the same day, you just added, and multiply this by 12 calendar months, you just added $15 to that day's income for the life of that business. So we had a philosophy. Do you want to get paid, for 30 days or 60 days? Or do you want to get paid for life? Life. Making a little bit less, but for life makes you a lot more. And you don't have to requalify for anything. It just is what it is. What's the qualifier? 2 brand partners, one on your right, one on your left, you're done. You're done. You're done. Because look what happens. What if the guy underneath you brings in 20 people? He is forced to put them in the force matrix underneath, above you. And you get paid for that. So now you get like 80 cents, 50 cents, up to like 9 levels. On the 10th level, you get $2. On the 11th level, you get $6 for anyone on your 11th level. So look how it looks. Man, I'm not even tall enough for this, right? So you have a lot more people up here than you do down here, don't you? So all of a sudden, you start seeing income coming in here. So let's say day 1 of your business life, in our business life, we get in 2 people. That means day 1, you got an extra $15. Day 2, let's say you brought in another guy, you got an extra $15. Day 3, the whole organization brings in these 4 people. So you might have $4 plus A, right? So like, let's say in Wince's case, he's at like $4 a day or $5 a day. You got $4 on this bonus plus $4 on this bonus. Your daily is what? $8 that day. Does that make sense? The next day it calculates the same thing, going, oh, now all these positions are filled, so now it forces them to fill these positions. That's another 8 people. Even if it was another $4 plus A, so now you got A plus B, that might be another $8. You might have a time where only 2 people come in there. So it's like, maybe $2 that day. Maybe it's $1 that day. Maybe you bring in a personal brand partner here on this day, and you get another 15 plus 64 people. Actually, it goes 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, and I ran out of room. 1,024 and 2,048. What's 2,048 times 6? 12,000 something. $12,000 something, right? What's $12,000 divided by 30 days? Someone do the math. We all got calculators. How much? $400 a day added to your daily marketing bonus for life. Just by getting the 2 brand partners. Who hates this concept? The company forces everyone to be underneath your group. It's a force matrix. What did you bring in? 2. What did they bring in? 2. What did the company bring in? Everyone else. Is that interesting? So, after April 12th, it's not going to be A plus B, it's just going to be B. So everyone that gets started before April 12th gets A plus B. Everybody that gets started after April 12th only gets B. Any questions on that? Interesting, huh? Interesting. So what we did is we added to it. We added to it. That's what we're doing. Now, we reward. So the philosophy is this. You do nothing, you get nothing. Well, you get a little bit, but you're going to get nothing. You do a little bit, you get a lot. You do a lot, you get a whole lot. Right? So our philosophy is you do a little bit, you get a lot. Because you don't know who your group knows to bring in the merchant accounts. Now, that is just so you can make money so you can pay the gas. Really, it's just to put gas in your car. That's really it. You want an ice cream? Go buy yourself one. That's really that kind of money. The big money is the merchant account. So let me explain to you this. You are the pioneers of this business model. You have the opportunity right now to become master brand partners. It is, Mom. Ma, estoy en una junta. ¿Le puedes llamar para atrás? Okay, thank you, Ma. Aquí está 100 personas escuchándola. Oh, okay, Ma. Bye-bye. That was Mom. Okay, weird. But there you go. Turn off your phones. I always say that, and then something always happens, huh? Okay. Here's the challenge. You have 2 choices. You can coast or you can drive. Those are your choices. And what I mean about this is, who is driving the car? Who is driving the car? In her business, she's driving the car, $80,000. In Winston's business, he's driving the car, $400,000+ last month. Working the way he did, you have a chance to make that. It's not guaranteed. But he drives his car. So in life, a lot of people do this. They say, okay, here's the steering wheel, right? And in life, they say, okay, I want to do the business, but you drive. And what you get is what they give you. Right? What you get is what they give you. Abraham Lincoln has a famous quote, and people misquote it all the time. And they say, good things come to those who wait. The full quote is, good things come to those who wait, but only what's left after from those who hustled. But only left after from those who hustled. So what I'm saying is, who's driving the car? You or them. And if you're going to let someone else drive the car, don't complain about the money you make. Period. You are seeing a business model that will change merchant services and shift the wealth of merchant services forever. And you are at the very beginning. You are seeing this in the first 3 months of the business. Next month will be our initial month, our launch date, April 12th. You are seeing it now. I'm looking for master brand partners, and I'm looking for 20 of them. 20 of them. You know what they get? We're looking for master brand partners that can bring in 2,500 merchant accounts, which include brand partners, or his only brand partners, or his only merchant accounts. Does that make sense? I don't care if you bring in a Chamber of Commerce that brings in 2,500 merchant accounts. What does that make? 50,000 brand partners. We believe, based on our numbers that we've calculated, that we can have a portfolio that can be worth $1.3 billion on just merchant accounts. 30% of all the brand partners are bringing in merchant accounts. 1% of them are bringing in $100 million a month merchant accounts. Some of them are in this room. One young lady, before she even got started with us, had 7 merchant accounts ready to go before she even got started, just to see if it worked because of her contacts. She was in advertising. She already had the contacts. $1.3 billion, you know what happens? We take 30% of our earnings, and let's say that's a 400 million. Just in this example, we divide it up by the 20 master brand partners. That's a $19 million bonus for the master brand partners. You have 2 of them in the room here today, Mr. Daniel Wynn and Mr. Winston Navarro. Don't applaud for them. Take them over. Kick their hind. Your job is not to praise them, it's to outproduce them. Your job is to make sure that you're one of them, because I got 15 spots left to override the entire portfolio of the world every time we do it and every time we sell the portfolio. Now let me explain to you what could happen. What if we drive hard and we hit 100,000 brand partners? There's companies that have done that in a year. You guys know of them. You guys know how the veracity of the company is what drove it, right? It was something that was new to the industry. And because it's new to the industry, people flock to it saying, this is amazing, this is amazing. You tell me of another company that has the ability to give merchant accounts in 4 minutes, or to give e-commerce websites with merchant accounts in 4 minutes, and give you the ability to share into the merchant portfolio sellout to a bank. You tell me of another company. You tell me any other company in our industry that's in this industry of merchant services. They're not, because it's our patents. They'll be violating our patents. They'll have to pay us. Right? We have the exact opposite of Amazon's patent. We're creating multiple market centers while they're creating one and driving the traffic to one. That's what's going on. What if we do that? And if you look at the buzz on Facebook, especially on Spain and our international expansion, there's 100,000 people waiting for us outside the U.S. You have an opportunity of taking hold of this and becoming a master brand partner if we do that. These are my estimates based on what I see on the numbers, based on 30% of people bringing in a merchant account, but we can have a merchant account worth $10 billion. You take 30% of that, it's $3 billion. You divide that by 20, that's $140 million this year. That's what I'm after. No other time in history has there been an opportunity that in under 2 years you can get something like that. You are now making what Wall Street brokers, tycoons make. You are now at the same level of them, because now you're facilitating a service to the banking world, a financial note. You are playing the same game as they are. You are at the same level. And I hope you get this. I hope you get this and you never fall asleep for the next 7 days. And you dream about this and you go, holy mother of, yeah. This is that. What if this was that movement? What if this was that opportunity? What if this was truly the promise that we all fell in love with in networking that said one and done? What if I can do one and retire for the rest of my life? One and done. That is Lucas on Global. That is Lucas on Global. One and done. Think about it. In merchant services, it generally takes you 8 years to even get close to that. Most people never do, but it's because no one's working with each other. Everyone's backstabbing each other. Businesses fighting against each other, and sometimes not even in the same industry. Let's set aside our petty differences. Let's work together, and if you guys can, go after one industry, and you can go after the pastors in the church, and I can go after the e-commerce stores, and you guys can go after the casinos, someone goes after the dentists and the attorneys, and someone else goes after the multi-level marketing companies, and someone else goes after the salons, and someone else goes after the gas stations, and someone goes after the grocery stores, then someone goes after the little carts in the middle of the mall, and someone else goes after the teeth whitening people, and someone else, right? You can't run out of business. You go outside, and you got Carlos Jr. for Christ's sake. Someone go after Carlos Jr. Right? Everywhere you go, you see business. That is America. That is the world. And we can unite it and put it into a portfolio. And for the first time, it's not the banks making that money. It's you and I. It's you and I. What more can I tell you? Besides run. Run. Run with a frenzy that you've never ran before and make it happen. Or don't run. And don't run and remember us. Remember. You all wanted, you all dreamt about that day that you said, I wish I was there in the beginning of Google. Right? I wish I was there in the beginning of MSN. I wish I was there when Bill Gates, right? I wish I was there in the garage with Steve Jobs. I wish. And now you are. What are you doing? Do you think all the guys in the garage and Steve Jobs are multimillionaires? Do you realize half the guys in the garage and Steve Jobs are not millionaires? They walked away from Apple before Apple was Apple. And all I'm saying is, hey, you all know it, but if you research the facts, you will find these evidence to be true. We are the only company in this industry. We are the only company that pays directly into your bank account real earnings. We're the only company in history that turns you into a real small business that you can sell. And we're the only company in history that will let you participate in the sellout of the asset and the sellout of the company. Those are the facts. You have something else that's better? Go there now. Go there now. Because on April 12th, we have government people coming to our convention. We have right now, as a guest of honor, the mayor of Los Angeles. We have right now, on April 12th, in the Los Angeles Convention Center, invited the ex-governor of California. I'm not going to tell you his name. But he will be there. Right now, for the first time in history, a $1 trillion company will open the convention. What if Visa was there? What if Visa would tell you that this is the wave of the future? They open up the convention and MasterCard closes it. On April 12th, oh yeah, history on a level that has never been seen before, networking will be there. On April 12th, a cabinet member of a U.S. sitting president will be running Lucrazon. A cabinet member of a U.S. sitting president will be running Lucrazon. A man that has managed over $60 billion in government money. A man that actually knows how to get government to do business with small business owner. an award-winning entrepreneur, has 5-star awards in his businesses, will be running Lucrazon. That is powerful. That man can bring international ties like no other because he was there as a cabinet member of a sitting president. It's never been done before in our industry. What if, and our board members, you have government officials, maybe, that used to run certain agencies that spy on people? What if they were part of your board? What if you have the head of cybersecurity on your board of directors? What if you had data centers where government servers are in? How legitimate is that? On April 12th, the merchant service industry will never be the same. On April 12th, the multi-level marketing industry will never be the same. On April 12th, a new age of business where we set aside our petty differences will end and we'll come together for one purpose and one purpose alone. A combined merchant portfolio that's global. A combined sales network that can bring in merchant portfolios on a monthly basis and sell them off to the bank. A global institution that will shake the foundation of the banking world. Lucrazon Global launches on April 12th, and I need you to take control of this thing and become one of the master brand partners. If you choose to, then run. If you don't choose to, then just work with us. Make your little bit of money. And it's not going to be a little bit of money. It's going to be a lot. Or never have to work for finances again for the rest of your life. It takes 1 year. It takes 1 year of commitment, and it takes hard work. And there's no guarantees in the world, but I'll guarantee one thing. You do nothing, you get nothing. I'll guarantee you that. And I'll guarantee you that if you go back to doing what you've already done, you can expect the same results. We all know that, right? But I can guarantee you that this is a Google, that this is a Facebook, that this is a PayPal, that this is the beginning of a software company that will truly change the face of small businesses, because we're the ones that give small businesses cash flow. We're the ones that gives them the ability to lower their overhead and increase their profit. There's nothing better than that, and you can be their business partners. So I greatly appreciate your attention. Have a great weekend. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you.